Okay, here's a quick demo of 3 different pedals for your consideration. The first one is the Octane. It's a Hi-Octane, I called it. It's a clone of the ZVex Octane pedal, which is itself a clone of the UNivox Superfuzz, and with a few tweaks to improve its performance. So it's basically an octave fuzz. I'm just playing through a little 2-watt amplifier here. I am playing an Epiphone Wilshire with P rails, so I'll tell you when I switch between humbucking and single coil mode. So this is humbucking, neck pickup. This is single coil. The Octane has a fairly, instead of a 2-position tone switch, like on the Superfuzz, you have a variable tone control. So it'll go from the classic with fuzz octaves fairly nicely. Very well behaved pedal. I think I have to switch out the volume pot before I would sell it to anyone or trade it, because although the schematic calls for a linear pot, it's clearly not. It shouldn't be a linear, it should be a log pot, so I'll switch it out. Okay, that's the Hi-Octane. Next is the one, I guess, that I was pitching. This is, let's get some better light there. My buddy. This is a clone of the Shin-Ei Companion fuzz. Here's the stock sound. So it's a very 60s fuzz. It can be over the top. That here is as tame as it gets. What I've done is I've figured out how to add a little more bass to it. So there's a body switch here that goes between stock, low bass. It's lower mids as well as bass. And there's a 3-position tone switch here, 3 different tone modes. So this is stock, which has a mid scoop. And complete other direction, there is sort of full bandwidth, which gives a throatier kind of sound, a bit more like a tone bender, I guess. the middle position, it's a 3-position switch, there is a treble cut. Which, if you turn up the fuzz level, gets you a nice something very much actually like your peppermint fuzz. So 3 different personalities. The last one is one that I'm kind of proud of. This is a combination of a modified distortion plus and an Ampeg scrambler. I just called it the D scrambler. The distortion plus acts as a good front end. So it in just standard overdrive mode, so what you're hearing is primarily the distortion plus front end. Very meat and potatoes overdrive. Let's put on the bridge pickup. Okay, so that'll, I guess, can give you some intensity. The magic happens, however, when we start to rotate the blend in the other direction and bring in the scrambler part. The scrambler can just collapse in on itself at some settings, which is kind of neat. Let's see if I can get that. And if you hold a note, it does interesting things too. The distortion plus front end does some interesting things. Not only does it push the scrambler part harder, but also when you set it up for greater clipping, you're actually producing some compression so that it sustains the octaves longer. Let's get the neck pickup on the neck. So it'll, if you tame the distortion plus side a little more, you can get some respectable octaving sound. And you can get all the traditional sitar-like sounds that one gets from an octave fuzz. I mean, you can get a lot of very weird sounds out of it. The combination of the overdrive front end and the scrambler is very. It produces a lot of counterintuitive sounds that I typically don't hear in many commercial pedals. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed.